Photo by John Weast, Getty Images. Texas Tech basketball head coach Chris Beard is always quick to point out that the Big 12 is an 18-round fight. Certainly, the round-robin nature of the conference makes the path to a league title the most difficult in the nation. Now, after 5 games in league play, we know quite a bit more about some of the teams. There has been a clear division between the contenders and the rest of the league, helping us to see the remainder of the season more clearly. Texas Tech, Kansas, Iowa State and resurgent Kansas State seem to be the most likely to bring home the Big 12 title. Texas, TCU and Oklahoma are still dark horse teams but have not shown the consistency required to make believers out of most. Meanwhile, West Virginia, Baylor and Oklahoma State are in deep trouble. During Kansas' decade-and-a-half run of dominance in the Big 12, the most losses they have had in league play was 5. That means the Red Raiders can ill afford a costly loss to bottom-tier teams. With trips to Kansas, Kansas State, Iowa State, Oklahoma and TCU still left on the schedule, Tech has plenty of tough tests ahead. That's why the Red Raiders simply can't survive losses in some of the trap games that lie ahead. Let's take a look at the games Tech must make certain that they take care of business in. Next, Saturday vs. Baylor. Page 2, photo by John Weast, Getty Images. Tomorrow in Waco is one of the more sneaky tests remaining on the schedule. At first glance, this is a game that the Red Raiders should certainly take care of, as ESPN's matchup predictor gives Tech a 62.5% chance at being victorious. What's more, Baylor is now without their best player, Tristan Clark, who leads the Bears with 14.6 points and 6.3 rebounds per game. Without Clark, Baylor is now the stereotypical team with nothing to lose and ready to play the role of spoiler. And there is nothing that the folks in Waco would love to do more than knock off a top 10 in-state rival. After all, that is exactly what they were able to do last year. When number 7 Texas Tech visited the Farrell Center last season, the Bears played a gritty and tough game to come away with a 59-57 win. Of course, the fact that Tech's star point guard Keenan Evans broke his toe early in the first half was a huge contributor to the loss. That game pulled Baylor to 7-7 in Big 12 play, and similarly, this year's meeting in Waco finds the Bears hovering right at .500 at 2-2. We can be certain that Baylor sees this game as an opportunity to score their biggest win of the season and begin to turn their fortunes around. This is a critical game for the Red Raiders, who do not want to head into Manhattan, Kansas on Tuesday with a 2-game losing streak. The key to winning a Big 12 title is to avoid prolonged losing streaks, and Wednesday's loss to Iowa State makes a losing streak possible if the Red Raiders stumble in Waco. Last season's loss to Baylor began a 4-game losing streak. Tech must avoid a similar fate this year if it hopes to do this year what it would have done a season ago if Keenan Evans' toe had survived the trip to Waco in one piece. Next, February 4th vs. West Virginia. Page 3, use your arrows to browse. Photo by John Weast, Getty Images. The West Virginia Mountaineers are the complete opposite of the Texas Tech Red Raiders this year. Both teams made a deep run in the NCAA tournament before losing to eventual national champion Villanova last season, but since then, their fortunes have gone in different directions. But whereas Tech has been able to follow up their Elite Eight run with another solid season, WVU has fallen off the face of the earth just 1 year after a Sweet 16 appearance. Tech lost stars Keenan Evans and J.R. Smith but are back in the top 10, while West Virginia is now 8-9 after losing star guards Dexter Miles and Javon Carter. Having already beaten the Mountaineers in Morgantown, Tech can sweep Bob Huggins' team for the first time ever by beating them in Lubbock on Monday, February 4th. Given Huggins' complaints about Tech's post-game celebration in their locker room following their 3-point win to begin Big 12 play, there should be a lively and vocal crowd at United Supermarkets Arena ready to greet one of the game's most curmudgeonly coaches. What is concerning about this game is that it sits between road trips to Kansas and Oklahoma. Those two games will be critical in the Big 12 race, while West Virginia could come to Lubbock still looking for its first conference win. If Tech is able to win at Kansas on the Saturday prior to this game, they will have to find a way to turn around and match that intensity against the worst team in the league just 2 days later. And if they lose in Lawrence, they will have to quickly put their disappointment behind them and get ready to take care of business in a game that they simply have to win. Tech has a 91% chance of winning this game according to ESPN.com. But if they somehow drop this home game to a woeful WVU team, their chances of winning the Big 12 could be 0. Next, February 27th versus Oklahoma State. Use your arrows to browse.